Hello everybody, my name's Ryan and I'm a driving instructor, and today, driverless cars. Driverless cars. What's all that about? Let's call it experimental system into driverless taxis. Saying it's experimental is a bit silly really, because it's not really all that experimental. It's something that has been and will continue to happen for quite a long time actually. Waymo, the company that's going to do it, have a driverless cab system in San Francisco, and I've seen it in action and it's absolutely amazing. The thing is that this is spread out, and it's gone to Phoenix, Arizona, and it's going to go to Texas, and it's going to go to LA. So London is actually the next best, biggest opportunity for this system. When we think about cavemen, and they had rocks and stones to break open things, and they used sticks for things. If they saw fire, that was a miracle. If a man from the Middle Ages, who was only used to bow and arrow, saw guns, he would think that was amazing. So us driving these cars, seeing automated cars, will probably think that's amazing, that it's probably a step too far. But actually it isn't. And here's why. Most cars that were built after 2021 have some sort of system into them to tell them that you're speeding. Even if it's a little red flashy light, they tell you that you're speeding. Most of them have cruise control. Some people don't know how to use it, but you should know how to use it. And some have adaptive cruise control, which effectively takes it away. In the United States, they've been experimenting with hands-free driving, where you actually, on the highway, you engage two buttons and the car follows the highway. And it can also change lanes. So yeah, automation has been here forever. I'm sure when Ford set up his production line and went, yes, we're going to make some cars and we're going to make them faster, that is a version of automation. So automating cars probably isn't actually a problem. When you drive around and you're thinking of what's going to be for tea, what am I going to have, I don't know, when am I going on holiday, how do I take a door off its hinges, just as an example. You're thinking of all those things. You think, I want to go to the bathroom. I want to go and, I don't know, I want to go and bungee jump. I don't know, whatever it is. Whatever's on your mind, you'll be thinking about as you drive. With these driverless taxis and with the eventual AI that's going to be put into them, then these taxis are getting better and better. They've done about 5 million miles between all these taxis, and they all share data. So if it comes across the network and it goes, right, I'm on this network, what's happening here, it knows where there's an accident, so it avoids it. It's really quite clever. The AI isn't thinking about what's for tea or that you need a poop. It's thinking about, what am I going to do with this cyclist? What am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with that? What am I going to do with the other? It literally is planning ahead all the time. It's actually a really great system. Tesla's got a very similar system, and I'm absolutely certain that these two will compete for it in London. And eventually, it'll just go Manchester, Birmingham, Glasgow, Edinburgh. It'll just keep going and going and going, till one day, you'll get on an app, and a robotic taxi turns up on an Uber, or maybe on Waymo, or maybe on Tesla Drive, or something like that. It'll be an app, you just order it up to the door. I'm all in favour of automation. I'm actually quite glad that it's starting to come along. Maybe it'll force people to drive properly. Maybe it'll force people not to speed. Maybe it'll force people to behave properly on roundabouts. As a driving instructor, I absolutely want this technology in, because it's going to take away this distraction. Distracted by your phone or distracted by the display in front of you, those taxis don't do that. They're just looking at the road constantly, and they're using all of the data, all of the sensors, all of the mirrors, all of the information that's been presented. These are just normal cars. But I understand that the Jags are not being built anymore, so they'll probably use some Chinese cars because the British car industry is pretty much ruined at this point. I think there's only a few manufacturers now. And I think that they'll use some Chinese cars that probably are built for them, because they need not just 20 of these, they'll probably need about 2,000 of them, I would have thought. It's a massive investment in the tech. It's a massive investment into providing a service. Is this going to make people without jobs? Actually, no. I think initially it'll be a massive competition between cab drivers and automation. But I've got a feeling that the automation will be supplemented by these people, by the cab drivers. Well, is it likely to take a bus driver off the road? Possibly. By 2030, I don't see why not. If it makes it safer for that bus company to have a driverless car rather than somebody sat next to it, maybe they could sit somebody in the pilot's seat and they've got a stop and a go button and they've got no controls. A bit like a train, really. So maybe this technology is coming a lot quicker than what everybody thought. I always said that it would be here by 2030. Been saying it for at least 10 years that this technology would be here by about now. It's already there in the States, so why not? What's your thoughts on all of this driverless technology? Do you like the idea of it or do you not? And what's the reason why you don't? I kind of want it to come along. I want to embrace it. I want the people to accept it, to make the roads a lot safer, hopefully. If you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.